I have big puffy eyes because I was like worship crying for the better part of the night, and it's such a release. And I want to say to you, that's what casting your cares upon the Lord is. Know that, and you're going to feel immediately that burden lifted because you've cast them upon Him. You cast with your mouth. You're giving Him, you can tell Him anything. I tell the Lord everything and anything. You tell Him what's embarrassing, what's painful, things you'd never ever tell anyone else. So often we just forget about Him because we don't even want to think about Him, but don't do that. He knows you inside and out, but He wants you to share that with Him. You know what I mean? He wants you to share. They can't expect someone to read your diary. No, they want you to share with them. That's true it's true intimacy. He wants you to tell Him every little thing that you're thinking and how you're feeling and your desires and your memories even. Yes, your memories, especially bad memories. I mean, talk about healing, man. Whew, He'll just lift them right off you. I'm telling you, family, immediately. You cast those cares upon the Lord with your tongue. Perhaps we've never really talked about that. Like, we know to cast our cares upon Him, but do we know how? Yes, list them like a Christmas list. And I say Christmas, and somebody else say, oh, she believes in Christmas. She doesn't. But it's just, it's just a saying. But cast those cares upon Him. I am telling you, my family, and every single one who hears me right now, you have something you can cast upon Him. You do. And He's going to lift it off of you immediately. I'm telling you, immediately. After I go into that deep worship crying, and that's just me, like, man, just like between prayer and worship, just kind of like I had a lot of errands to do this evening, and I'm just bouncing around here and there. And I'm just like, of course, I'm embarrassed as I'm going into places and my eyes are puffy. Somebody was like talking to me, my eyes were all watery. I'm like trying to hide it. It's not a big deal, but I'm just trying to look together and not all like a nut. But of course, who better to look like a nut for? But this is just casting your cares upon Him. And really, I was just talking to Him about so many things. And I was saying, like, for me personally, I was saying, like, Lord, like, I'm like Psalm 42, where I'm like, I was taking for granted, like, you'd be surprised how many people don't feel His, like, presence, like, closely, like, intimately, like another human's in the room. And for those of us that do, like, that's such a blessing. I know for many, sometimes we can take it for granted. And I was saying, I'm like, Lord, I'm like the deer that pants for water. And I'm like thirsting for you, but I don't drink because the water's right there. And I was just like repenting for that. And then I was just like talking to Him. It was just like a big flood. I was just talking to Him about just everything and just talking like I'm talking to you right now. And, by the end of it, you finish talking to your best friend. That's a huge load off. It's a huge load off. Cast your cares upon Him. Please don't forsake any detail. He adores you. He wants to know what's going on with you. He wants to know how you feel.